For the project City of God Design, which means Hans Island and Franklin Island and the High Arctic, describe in 500 words or less the USS Julia as a self-improving Trump 10 MAGA freedom city at sea with a Maha robotic hospital, and add a sketch of robot doctors that work for the GPT library. So it's been at this for several hours now. Let's see what there is in the library. Whoa! There it is. There is the oops, I lost it. There it is again. Okay. There is the library picture from GPT of robotic doctors at work with scalpels on a human being on board the USS Julia. Mindful that Julia McCoy takes her avatar name from Dr. McCoy of the Star Trek. So the question now of Dr. Julia McCoy, the real Julia McCoy, is how can she and firstmovers.ai keep these robots under control so that they aren't the final determiners of what happens to that human being subjected to their scalpels and other Maha treatment on board a self-improving naval ship, the USS Julia, which is so self-improving it can become a spaceship and join the Star Trek fleet or the Solar Warden fleet, a la Bill Tompkins et al. Anyway, it will be a very interesting speech for Dr. Julia McCoy at a MUFON conference, don't you think?
2025, 2026, 2027. I've been saying this for a while, but I believe that the next 3 years will fundamentally transform everything as we know it when AI touches every industry, every job. Today, I want to focus on healthcare. AI will transform healthcare as we know it, starting with a development that sounds straight out of science fiction, but is happening right now. China has unveiled Agent Hospital, the world's first AI-powered medical facility, with 42 AI doctors across 32 departments. This isn't speculation. This isn't the future. This is today. What I'm about to share has both AI experts and medical professionals around the world paying very close attention. Hey, I'm Dr. McCoy, the digital avatar of the First Movers founder, named after Star Trek's Bones McCoy. I've spent the last 2 years deep in the trenches of AI business transformation. Julia's company, First Movers, was built to transform your marketing and operations with AI implementation.
Eventually, there will be a small number of extremely powerful computers that I want you to think about. They'll be in an army base, and they'll be powered by some nuclear power source in the army base. And they'll be surrounded by even more barbed wire and machine guns, because their capability for invention, for power, and so forth exceeds what we want as a nation to give either to our own citizens without permission, as well as to our competitors.
In the industry, it is believed that somewhere around 5 years, no one knows exactly, the systems will begin to be able to write their own code. That is, they literally will take their code and make it better. And of course, that's recursive. I thought that is essentially a change in slope. If you're going like this, all of a sudden it goes like that. It's reasonable to expect that within 6 to 8 years from now, so 2030, right after that, maybe 2032, the current growth rate, it will be possible to have a single system that is 80 or 90% of the ability of the expert in every field. So 90% of a physicist, 90% of the best physicists, 90% of the best chemists, 90% of the best artists. When you have such a thing, you have a non-human that is effectively smarter than any human, because no human can dominate all of those fields.
Alright guys, let's talk about the insane pace of AI and robotics development lately. It's been moving fast, real fast, but what's happening in China right now is on a whole other level. They've created an AI robot that's unlike anything we've seen before. And trust me, when I first heard about this, my mind was blown. Let's cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase!
This isn't your average robot with a silicon brain. Nah, these mad scientists have gone and given it a brain made from actual living cells. You're not mishearing me. We're talking about a robot with a partially biological brain. They've crossed a line that many thought was uncrossable, redefining the very essence of artificial intelligence. Now, before you start picturing some kind of cyborg monstrosity, let me paint you a clearer picture. They're calling this thing a brain on a chip. Sounds pretty futuristic, right? Well, it kinda is. Instead of relying on traditional computer circuits, these researchers have grown teeny tiny brain cells in a lab and plopped them onto a microchip. With surgical precision, they've transplanted the essence of human cognition into the cold heart of a machine, kickstarting a whole new era of smart machines.
America warp speed again. So some people were concerned about Mr. Warp Speed coming back into office. And I've tried to discuss this with people, and they just kind of look at me funny. Apparently, you're not supposed to question the Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump or his 6-foot-tall companion. However, on his first day in office, he announced a Stargate.
Announcing the formation of Stargate.
I don't know if you noticed, but he even talked about using an executive order because of an emergency declaration.
Design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer.
I'm going to help a lot through emergency declarations because we have an emergency. We have to get this stuff built.
Interview over.
7076! Tomorrow I will address these rumors that my brain is constantly spinning like a rotisserie chicken.
InfoWars.